Hey guys, it's Diddy. Who else would it be, of course? I decided to give you guys a story time. This story time, y'all, this is juicy today. It just happened. So I'm not gonna waste too much time because I need to tell y'all this from bottom to top. Okay, so Friday, I got off at around 2 or 3 o'clock. And the plan was for me to actually pick up my good friend, my good Judy, that always, my little partner or whatever. That was the plan, for me to pick him up so he can stay the night with me. Turns out he wasn't home. And so I decided to go home and I said, let me find something to do. So I said, let me go walking. Now, keep in mind, lately, guys, I've been very lonely. It's just like I've been trying to go out more, trying to just run into people and whatnot. I'm tired of just meeting people online because it seems like they're all the same. So I go to the park. It's only like maybe one other car there. It's two other cars there, and I only see like one other person. As soon as I pull up, I see the guy that's parked next to me. He looks over into my vehicle. He wearing shades. I just see him kind of look my way. And I start to gather my stuff to get out the car so I can go walking. So as soon as I get my stuff out, I know this nigga gonna look at me. You know what I'm saying? I know he gonna see all the goods. He gonna see everything that I intended for people to see. Scratch that I intended for niggas to see. And so I get out. I see him looking my way. I pay it. I act like I'm not paying attention, but I notice everything. I start my little walk. Now, once I start walking, it starts raining. So I stay underneath like this little hut thing at the park where you can kind of have like picnics or like little family gatherings and stuff. I sit underneath that. I see his car still parked over there. He hasn't left yet. I didn't know if he was leaving. I didn't know why he was sitting out there in his car. So I figured maybe he had got done with walking or something and he was getting ready to go. But he was still there. So I head back to my car once the rain stops. Once I get to my car, I notice as I'm getting, because I got my headphones in, y'all. So I keep my headphones in so that if anybody got something smart to say, if anybody trying to bother me, I can miss some of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I got my headphones in, and I noticed as I'm getting into my car, his window is going down. I guess so that he could have spoke to me, but I didn't hear him. So I got inside my car, and I was just sitting there, and I'm not going to lie. At this point, I said, I'm going to sit here a little bit longer. I'm not going to just call my walker quit just because it's raining. I'm going to go back out there once it stop raining and see if he going to, I'm going to see if he going to try to talk to me because I saw his window go down and I know he wanted to talk to me. I just knew it. Like, it was my intuition telling me that he wanted to talk to me. I knew for a fact he wanted to talk to me. And I was going to make that happen in a roundabout way. It's like the funny part is, although he was plotting on me, I was plotting on him. That's the gag about it all. You know how, as women, we sometimes like to make ourselves available or present for someone to approach us. We want to make sure that we look somewhat approachable. When we like somebody, we may not go up to them and say, hey, I like you. I want to take me out on a date. We're not going to do all that type of stuff. We're going to sit there. We're going to try to be seen or something. We might do a little bit of extra walking, stuff like that. But let me speak for myself. Because some of y'all might be acting like y'all approves and stuff. But I know what I do. I try to act like I'm doing something. Y'all know how I go. Y'all don't leave me out here by myself. But basically, you make yourself visible. That's what you do. You make yourself visible. And so I made myself visible. And I stayed there present because I knew I had saw his window go down. So as I'm sitting in my car waiting on the rain to stop, I see him get out of his car. He goes and walks like he about to start walking like where I was walking on his phone, talking and stuff like that. And so I see him come back towards our cars. And before he stops by his car, he stops by my car and stands outside my window. He was like, and so I locked my door. I'm being extra at this point, like I don't want to be bothered, even though I was plotting on him at the same time. So I'm being extra. I locked my door and I cracked my window. And I saw his face kind of go like that. And so when I cracked my window to where he can talk to me, I'm like,
Hello, how you doing? Yes, sir.
And he was like,
Hey, yes, I was just coming by to see, do you have an iPhone charger or something I can use?
this is where the games begin. At this point, I say,
Well, yeah, I have one, but I can charge it inside my car. I'm not gonna give you my charger.
he gave me his phone. He proceeded to have a conversation with me. And so we're sitting there, and I'm in my car talking to him through this crack window, like this, like that. And he's saying,
Hey, how you doing? Thank you so much for letting me use your charger.
my first thing I said to him, and I was like,
Like, where you from? You sound like you have an accent. Like, are you foreign or something? Like, where are you from?
and he was just like,
Oh no, I'm from the DMV. I just moved down here.
and so my next question, I was not trying to be shady at all, y'all. I was asking a serious question. And I'm pretty straightforward. And so when I was walking, I had seen like some clothes on top of, when it started raining, and I hid underneath that little hut. It was like some clothes on top of the table with nobody there and some cardboard boxes. And then of course I saw him sitting in his car at the parks, just sitting up there. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what it is. So I asked him, I was like,
No offense or anything like that, but I wanted to know, are you homeless by chance?
he started laughing. He was like,
No, I'm not homeless.
And I was like,
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you or nothing. It's just, I just thought, I'm looking at your car out here, you out here and stuff like that. I was just wondering.
and he was like,
No, I have nothing in my back seat or nothing. And I'm not homeless. I just, like to come out here or whatever.
so I was like, oh, okay. I'm thinking like when he said he moved down here too, like maybe he moved down here, he didn't have a place to go. I was just going to talk to him. I wasn't going to necessarily provide him shelter because I don't know him, but I was going to like just see if he was okay mentally and emotionally if he was homeless. And so we get to talking and stuff like that. And I noticed, so I don't know this whole time, I don't know when there's going to be a point where he finds out that I'm transgender. But I automatically assume that sometime during this transaction, he's going to find out that I'm transgender. Because he's talking to me, I'm looking at him, he's looking at me. And as I'm getting comfortable, the window's coming down so he can see me. He's standing to where he can see me, he's standing right over me, and I can see him. And we're having a good old conversation. I'm thinking my voice by this time is gonna clock me. I'm thinking the fact that I got this, these marks and stuff on my face is gonna clock me. I just know this nigga is gonna clock me eventually, and I don't know how he's gonna react. But at the end of the day, you just asked for a charger, so I owe you no explanation. You know what I'm saying? You came up to me. I don't owe you my business to give to you because you asked for a charger. You get what I'm saying? As I'm talking to him, I'm putting on my little lip gloss and stuff like that. He said,
You don't even need to do that. You already look good.
and I noticed he's saying stuff like referring to,
Oh, you as a female or you as a woman, I know how it must be. Do you have any kids?
when a nigga start asking you questions like that as a transgender, it starts to alert you in your brain. This nigga might not know my teeth. And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, no, I don't have any kids. I'm 26. He said he's 28. He's a good looking guy. Got a pretty smile. Slim like I like him. He kind of short. He is short, but he's slim like I like him. Pretty smile. The only thing is like his beard is like he could have cleaned up his beard some, but he got a nice little beard on him, real little sexy beard and stuff like that. And so, we talking and we talking and talking and talking. And he's loving the conversation with me. We talking about almost everything. And so eventually he say,
I would love to sit in the car with you and talk, while the phone charging. But I can tell that you're not all the way comfortable with me.
I was just like,
I don't know.
because you got to think, I went from locking my door to talking to him through a cracked window to letting the window come down a little bit more. And I told him basically, I said,
You don't just walk up on people like that. You gotta stand back. I don't know you.
eventually I get comfortable enough to say, I'm going to let him come sit inside my car. Now, was it smart? No, ladies. I know it's not smart. I played it by ear, though. I felt as though he was not a threat to me. He didn't seem like he was up to anything in regards to threatening my life. So once he got inside, this whole time we talking in the car, I'm thinking, I know he's going to clock me. I just know this hair on my face is gonna clock me. I know the way I'm talking is gonna clock me. I know my deep notes is going to get him. I know my hand movements are going to get him. All of that together is going to get him. I'm thinking something is gonna alert him once he sit right next to me side by side inside this car. It's broad daylight. This light is not the most flattering. So I just know I'm gonna get clocked. You know, and so we talking for a long time and he's still saying stuff like, he eventually said something like
if you were my girl, I believe that if me and you go out to an event and you going around talking to other people, I'm not going to be hovering over you because those are your connections to make, and I don't want to block anything that might be for you.
So I'm still thinking in my head, he can't know I'm transgender, even as he's sitting right next to me in his car. I want y'all to understand something. A transgender woman or man is not entitled to tell anyone their business, their personal business. Now, there is a time where it is warranted for you to tell someone, and that is when it gets past the point of them, you know they're interested in you, and you feel as though it is a safe time for you to tell them. I believe both components must be there. If they're interested in you or you're interested in them, and the second component is when you feel safe enough to tell them. And I didn't feel safe enough in that moment to say,
Hey, by the way, I am transgender. I don't know how you feel about that, but you are sitting in my car, so I just thought I would tell you. And I can sense that you maybe like me, so I wanted to tell you so you don't waste your time talking to me.
that's doing too much. You know what I'm saying? I just assumed he maybe would find out or knew, but at the end of the day, I'm not entitled to tell nobody nothing if I don't really know if you can handle that type of information. You could be a crazy person. As soon as I tell you, you can feel some type of way about your masculinity and take it out on me and in my life because I was oversharing information. I was at liberty to not tell you because we had not been physical. I don't know you, and you came and approached me. And so, no, I didn't tell him in the car because if he didn't pick up the signs, if he didn't see it for himself, until we get past a certain point or until I feel safe, as long as I don't cross any boundaries with him, that's my information to keep or to share. And so that's the mind frame I was in. Eventually, he kind of started dropping hints that he wanted my number. And so he was like,
Oh my gosh, I really enjoyed talking to you. I hate that you gotta leave so soon. What you doing tonight?
and so I was like,
I don't know, nothing really. I'm gonna probably just go get something to eat.
and so he was like,
Okay, bet. I'll tell you what, how about me and you go get something to eat later on tonight?
and I was like, that sounds cool. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking at this point, I'm about to tell you once I get home. As soon as I got home, I called him. As soon as I got home, I said to him, I said,
Hey, I just wanted to call you to tell you something. I don't know if you're aware or not, but I'm transgender. Did you know that?
and he said,
Wow. I didn't know that. And I don't know how I feel about that.
to be expected, right? I say,
Yeah, I didn't want to tell you there because I wanted to make sure I was safe and you didn't try to kill me.
and I kind of turned it into a joke, but it's not funny, it's serious. But, you know, I turned it into a joke to where he could understand and he started laughing. I said, I figured you know, before we went on a date, I didn't know if you would want to go take me out still if you knew that. So I wanted to tell you before we went. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to have to think about that one. So we got off the phone. He was very respectful, very polite the whole time. He didn't, like, turn on me. I think in his mind, he still saw me as a woman. You know what I'm saying? I went and got me something to eat because I just knew the nigga wasn't going to maybe hit me back up or be interested in still talking to me. And that was cool. Niggas ain't a problem. You see what I'm saying? I can find me a hood nigga real quick. That ain't a problem to run across. You see what I'm saying? So I got me some Zaxby's. I tore up my food, of course. And he said, hey, let's meet back up at the park around whatever, 7:30, 8 o'clock. No, I was like, okay, that's fine. I said, but I did already get me something to eat. And so at this point, I'm thinking in my head, is he upset? Is he trying to plot on killing me? What's the tea, basically? Like, how he feeling? So I asked him, you know, before I really meet up with him, I say, hey, are you upset? How are you feeling about what I told you? He said, we got to talk about it. I need to talk to you in person. He said, that's not something you tell somebody over the phone. I said, are you upset? And he said, all right, I'll see you soon. And I said, hold on. You can't just say, all right, I'll see you soon. I need you to answer the question. I need to know if you're upset, because I feel some type of way then if you're upset with me for telling you what it was. Because before I told you what it was, you asked to use my charger. That's all the interaction was supposed to be about. And you were chatting with me. That's it. I don't owe you my information because we were chatting and because you asked to use my charger. I was minding my business at the park and you came up to me. So I feel some type of way that you feel as though I owe you that information when we did not touch, we did not kiss. So you can easily walk away from this situation unscathed. And so he was like, we were just talking about it, but no, I'm not upset with you. I'm just kind of shocked. I didn't know. So he gets to the park and he comes to sit in the car with me. He's still friendly, still nice. There's a moment of seriousness for me because I told him how important it was for me to protect myself. And the reason why I was asking him what I was asking him, and the reason why I told him the way I told him, because what he may not understand is that there are girls dying left and right. And these girls are not just dying. They're being brutalized. Their bodies are being cut up into pieces and stuff. It's some serious stuff out here that I have researched, looked into, that a lot of the girls know about. And you try to protect yourself, you try to stay safe. It's stuff that you think about that can always happen to anybody, you know. And so I was explaining that to him, and he said, I understand your way of life. I understand your lifestyle and how you feel. So he understood it once I broke it down to him. And he wasn't so much upset. He was so inquisitive about certain things. It's certain questions where I asked him, or that he was asking, that I told him, okay, those are not questions you ask someone. Like he asked me.
So, are you castrated?
And I told him, I said,
I answer your question because I'm an open person, but I said that's not something that you usually would ask someone like me.
and he said,
Well, I just want to know because I just found out this information.
I said,
well, what I need you to understand is that as long as I'm not having sex with you, you don't need to know what's in my pants.
he was like, true that. He still was not over the fact that he really liked me in the beginning. You know, I still saw that. And I ended up finding out that he actually had dealt with a trans woman before on accident. Same type of situation, only she had actually gave him oral sex and never told him until after the fact. And I said, now you see the difference in our situation? She didn't tell you and she did something with you. I didn't tell you until before you were supposed to take me on a date. Which prior to that, we had not done anything at all but have a conversation. So I said, just get all of that nonsense out of your mind. I said, at this point, and this is for anybody out there, but I was saying this to him. I said, at this point, it's okay. It's gonna be okay. I said, you can literally step out this car, walk away from me for good, and you never kissed me, you never touched on me, we never had sex, and never went beyond you being attracted to me. I said, there's plenty of guys out here that I see that twinkle in their eyes sometimes when they see me. They may not know my tea. And so it's okay if you found me attractive and you didn't know my tea. That's where it can stay. It's nothing more than that. And so at this point, he jokes and he says, well, I'm invested now. He said, I like to finish stuff I start, and I done already started. I'm already in. Eventually, you know, I could tell he was getting more and more curious, and he was getting more and more, he was in a state of sexual frustration. And his conversation was so, it just drew me in so much to him as a person. It made me like him as a person, his conversation. And so, he said, hey, you want to go get some alcohol? I can go get some alcohol, this, that, and the third. I can get some wine. I said, I don't really drink. He said, okay, so you don't smoke, you don't drink. I can maybe get some wine, something like. I said, yeah, I guess we can do that. Just kind of relax a little bit, so I can kind of relax and get to know you more without being so uptight. And he was like, yeah, let's do that. So he went to go get some wine, came back. So we sipping on the wine. And one of the things that he had said that kind of had rubbed me the wrong way was, he said,
No touchy touchy unless I touchy touchy.
that's what he said. And he was referring to himself. You don't, he was saying to me, you don't touch me unless I touch you. And I didn't say it right with me. I said,
So what makes you feel, first of all, that I even wanted to touch you? Because I'm just here to talk to you and meet you. What makes you feel like you have the right to touch me if you're saying I can't touch you? But no, we're going to keep it that way.
and so one of the things he had said earlier that day when we first met at the park, he saw my nails and he said,
I like those nails. How do your feet look?
I said, what? And he said, how do your feet look? I said, my feet look just like my hands. And I said, they the same color as my hands. And he's like, yeah, everybody say that. I said, I'm serious, my feet the same. He said, well, you can show me your feet tonight after we go out to dinner or whatever. So I say that to say this. This time while we in the car, we, drinking wine and stuff like that, talking. He then kind of got a little bit more comfortable with me and what I told him. So he says,
You think I can see those feet now?
and so I said to him,
You said no touchy touchy unless you touchy touchy. No looky looky. Okay?
so he just busted out laughing. He was just like,
No. All bets off. We don't even gotta do that touchy touchy rule. That's out the window for tonight.
and so I said, you see how you act, you know what I'm saying? Like, my goal is not even to touch you. I'm not even an aggressive person like that to go out my way to touch you like that. I'm more submissive. So that wasn't going to even happen to begin with. But I said, you see how you changing the rules as you see fit. And so I ended up showing him, my feet. I had my flip-flops on anyway, so he could have easily saw it. And I was proud of my little toes. I got my toes painted. I was ready to show my toes off, period. And so I showed him my feet, and he was like, oh my God, put your feet up here. Put your legs right over here on top of my lap. So, at this point, I'm comfortable. He's getting more comfortable. He rubbing on my feet and touching up on my legs. And I said, he get up to my thigh. I said, you stay down there. And so, we just kind of playing and stuff like that. And over time, stuff get really comfortable to where eventually we kissing. He feeling on my thigh, feeling on my breast. And so he says to me, can I tell you something? He said, I've been kind of sexually frustrated, something like that. He said, can you guess how long? So I already know what this BS lead into. He want to ask me for some kind of sexual favor, but I'm going to just play along with it, And so I'm just kind of looking off into space like this, answering his questions. And I was like, no, how long? And he was like, guess. And I was like, 2 years. And he was like, no, not that long. I was like, what, about 2 months, 2-3 months? And he was like, yeah, about 2 months. And he was like, do you think you can help me out? And I said, help you out how? He said,
I like to be treated like a king. Just give me some head or something like that.
So in my brain, I started to wonder stuff like, did he target me because of how I was dressed? Did he target me because he really, the whole time, knew I was transgender? But then my mind also said to me, he wouldn't have been talking to me the way he was earlier that day and even considered taking me out on a date unless he, you know what I'm saying? Unless he didn't assume I was a biological woman. It's so many factors, you never know. Or in his brain, it could have just, the whole situation could have changed once he found out I was transgender. Once he found out he was still attracted to me, it could have just changed to, oh, well, I done got head from a transgender before. I can get some head again. And so it just kind of, it didn't sit too right with me. And so I was like, no, I'm not giving you no head. I prefer to I love talking to you. Let's just talk. I didn't come there for all of that necessarily. I'm not opposed to it, but I'm not some prude. I'm not painting myself as some prude. But I honestly want to get to know somebody on a deeper level and not just you know, hey, you can do this for me real quick. And I could just sense from this point that probably wouldn't go past anything sexual for him, you know, because he no longer wanted to take me on a date. We here at the park, and he wants to be treated like a king. But eventually, we get past all that type of stuff. I tell him no and stuff like that. We still talk and kiss and all type of stuff. The stuff happened over and over again. And, you know, eventually, you know, he finds out I live alone, and he says, so can I ask you why we're not at your house and we're sitting out here instead if you live alone? And I just said, no, I don't think I want to have you at my house right now. Now, once again, y'all, I'm not some prude and I'm not perfect. I have niggas come over to my house all the time that I don't know. Not that it's right, but I do it. And I'm a real bitch enough to say it. You know what I'm saying? I've done stuff like that. I ain't gonna lie. So it ain't like he totally couldn't come to my house. But it was just like the way we met at the park. I was just trying to fill him out some more. I was just trying to understand this whole situation with how he approached me and how he didn't know and how I told him, and now how we're here now where we're doing these physical acts, sexual physical acts. I said maybe he could come over the next day. So we hang out some more. We hung out for a long time, talked for a long time. This nigga conversation is up there. I love to hear the nigga talk. I ain't gonna lie. Nigga got a great talk game. And so, we end up leaving, and he say, I want to see you tomorrow around the same time. And I say, yeah, you can come over to my house tomorrow. That's what we can do. And so the next day come, and although the previous night I specifically told him this is what I said to him verbatim. I said,
I want to let you know that tomorrow you're not going to fuck me. You're not going to fuck me tonight. So if you're looking to fuck me, you can go ahead and leave.
And he was like, no, it ain't got to be all of that, you know, whatever. And I was like, I was just making sure you understood. And I said, if you pressure me tomorrow, I will probably have some sort of attitude with you. Things can't go left. And so he was like, no, cool. We could just like watch a movie or something and just chill. And so, even though I had said that, I knew that I liked him. And because I liked him, I wanted to be prepared for anything. And so, that day, I had only ate early that day, like maybe around 11, 12, something like that, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. And we were supposed to meet like at 7:38. I had only ate around 11 or 12 because as a bottom, you know, you want to make sure you taken care of. And so I didn't eat too much, and then I did my whole cleaning out process around maybe 5 o'clock. Take a shower, shave, lotion up, moisturize, all of that stuff. And he doesn't come at the time we agreed upon, which was like 7:38. And so I'm still waiting. I'm hungry at this point. I'm hungry. I'm thinking he should have been came. I might have actually fucked him. Who knows? Like, I did all of this extra stuff. So I would have at least tried to fuck him, you know, maybe. And so time is passing, and he finally said, hey, I'm on the way, whatever. But he's still, he's lagging, you know. And so eventually I said, you know what? I said, I'm hungry. I said to myself, I'm hungry. I said, I said, I was literally trying to prepare in case I wanted to give you something. In my head, this is what I'm saying. In case I wanted to give you something. But no, you want to take your time. You want to not stick to the program. And so I said, no, I'm about to eat something. And you ain't fucking me tonight. That's what I'm thinking to myself. So I was eating me something. Now, catch this, y'all. As soon as I get me something to eat, that's when the nigga want to show up. So he shows up. This wig is getting tired. So he shows up. I'm eating in the kitchen. You know, I'm looking nice or whatever.
You know, no makeup tease, just like this. Gloss and lashes. That's it. Brown skin, pretty smile. You see what I'm saying? Just like that.
At this point, I started joking with him. I said, you know what? I was actually thinking about fucking you tonight. I thought about it. Even though I told you I wasn't, I thought about it. I thought at least to get prepared in case something happened. But I said, I'm eating now, so that's all off the table. He was like, no, you gotta be kidding me. Like, he started like joking like that. We laughing, kicking or whatever. So while I'm eating, he comes up behind me. I said, stop, what you doing? He said, no, you just do you. Let me do me. He said, let me do what I like to do. So he came up behind me and started like feeling on my ass and stuff. And I was like, I can't even eat no more. So I put my food up. We in the bed at this point. He like, why you got on all these clothes? I said, boy, I'm wearing a dress. It's all the way up to where if I bend over, you can see everything. I just got panties on underneath that. I'm not wearing too many clothes. I'm literally not. And he was like, yeah, but I want to see you in it off. I said, no, let's just watch a movie. Let's just watch a movie, whatever. So we trying to find a movie. And, you know, he's trying to, you know, turn towards me, give me kisses and stuff like that. He's trying to do everything but watch the movie at some point. And I really like this guy. I really do. Like, some people might think if you really like him, why not just get freaky and all that type of stuff. Like I was explaining to him, sex doesn't do anything for me like that. Like, I have to have some type of connection with you. I really want to see what it feels like to actually make love and not just to get fucked one of these days, you know? I want somebody to be patient with my body, to be careful with my body, to want to please my body. You see what I'm saying? I want to go beyond just getting fucked. I really do. And so I don't jump for the idea of sex all the time because I know it's going to be like wham, bam, thank you, ma'am, just like that. And it's going to be over with for him. And so, you know, he kept trying me. Eventually, like, once he starts, you know, kissing me, I end up kind of like getting on top of him and starting to kiss him and stuff like that. And as I'm starting to kiss him, I start to like lick and suck on his neck and like that, like right here. Kind of nibble on his neck and stuff like that. And so as I'm doing that, he stops me. And he says, no, baby, don't do that. He was like, don't give me no hickey. Why would you try to give me a hickey? You know, he was like, we not 17 or 18. He said something like that. I'm thinking in my head, sexual acts like that or intimate acts like that are not defined by some age range. It's not, you know, we're free. The reason why we can do stuff like that is because we both are adults and we're free to do what we want to do in a consensual environment. You know what I'm saying? And so for you to go that angle, it kind of had made me wonder, do you have somebody at home? Do you have a girlfriend? But he had said that he was staying with family. He did say that. And so he was saying that he just doesn't want people all up in his business. Those are visible signs of, you know, you putting your business out there. And I said, you know, I can understand. That's fine. I'm gonna look past it. But I said it seems like everything with you is some restriction or some type of, it's only what I want to do. You know, stuff like that. That's what he gives me sometimes. And yet you're the one that's just like so bothering me for sex. So when I finally do kind of like open up a little bit or give you an inch, you push us a few steps back. So I was like, you know what? Let's just watch the movie. I'm fine. Let's just be friends. Actually, like let's just cool it. All of that stuff, extra stuff. Let's just leave it out. And so, you know, he's trying to plead his case about the hickey on the neck. I said, it's cool. It's cool. You fine. I said, let's just watch the movie. Keep it friendly. And so, we watching the movie. As we watching the movie, we kind of getting into it. And he says out of nowhere, he say, where's the lube? And I said, what are you talking about? I said, where angle are you coming from? I just said what I said. So what are you talking about? So eventually I noticed, you know, he put his arm back around me. We getting back into the mode of beyond just friends. He's trying to ease his way back out of there, you know. And he wants to fuck. At this point, I think in my brain, I literally started to check out. I literally started to just feel like no matter what lengths I go to meet a good guy, no matter how well I have a conversation with them, no matter anything, it all leads to the same road, and that's to them wanting to fuck me. It all leads to the same road. And so at this point, I'm thinking to myself, well, I actually like him. Maybe I should just give in this time. So I grab a condom and I roll it on his dick and I proceed to give him oral sex. And then eventually he wants to actually fuck me. I just gave up at this point. I just let him do what he wanted to do at first. But I was tight. I don't have sex regularly, and I told him that. And I haven't been penetrated in a long time. It could have been up to a year or two at this point. I have not been penetrated. I maybe played with myself with a toy. That's the only thing, but a nigga has not penetrated me in a long time. So I'm very tight. And I had told him that. So in the midst of him trying to stick it inside of me, I was like kind of like oohing and awing and kind of like, and so he was like, baby, he was like, you doing all of that and I haven't even stuck the tip in or something like that. And I was like, I'm thinking to myself, don't be disrespectful. I said, it hurts. In my head, I'm thinking it really hurts. And I'm telling him this, it hurts. You know, I'm not faking. I have no reason to fake. I've been straightforward with you enough up until this point. So if I really did not want to do it, I would have just said, no, you can't fuck me. I'm trying to go along with it and you giving me like attitude. Don't do that. I'm sorry, guys. I need to also mention the night we were in the car, one of the things he said to me was, I don't know how I would feel if I see a trans woman naked. I've never seen that image of what I see to be a woman and then see that down there. So I don't know how I'm going to feel. I don't know how I'm going to react. And that statement alone made me so uncomfortable to reveal my body, because that's not a good experience for me, as opposed to somebody who knows what they like, who knows what to expect. And I don't have to be so uptight or so self-conscious. He didn't understand that was just making me somewhat not relaxed. You know, just the fact that I could not completely feel comfortable around him because I don't know how he would react. And so he's still trying. At some point, I just like start to really check out, because at this point I'm just like, this all I am worth to these niggas, for real. I was like, let me give him what he looking for then. And it's sad I got into that state, because this is my life, this is my body. But I got into a state of, I'm going to finally give one of them what they want. I'm going to stop fighting it. I'm going to just go with it. This is what I'm worth. Let me just go with it. And so I literally started doing this with attitude. I picked the sheet up, laid it on my bed like that. I said, go ahead and lay down. I said, I'm going to suck your dick. I said, go ahead and lay down. I said, here, turn that way. Turn that way. I was like, okay. So I go down there like I'm getting ready to go to work. And I start sucking his dick. No condom this time. I know. I don't know why my mind told me to do that. I had given up at one point during this. Like, it's just like he would not give up. He was just so pressuring me so much. And I just said, F it. I'm not worth nothing. You know, for a moment, I was just so upset that I just go through this so much that I was just like, F it. I'm going to give them what they think I'm worth. I'm going to give it to them. And so I started sucking his dick and stuff like that. And this was the breaking point that snapped me back into reality to say, girl, what is you doing? And he was like, can I come inside your mouth, baby? And when he said that, it's literally like my brain clicked. I came back to reality. I like hopped up. I like stared off into space. I was just kind of gathering my thoughts of what I was about to say next. And I said, you know what? This isn't going to work. I don't think we should see each other after this day. And I think it's time for you to go home. And he was just like so lost. Instead of giving him some big explanation, I took the easier route and just said, I'm crazy. I'm probably bipolar. I said, it's all on me. It's not you. It's me. I'm not feeling it no more. I said, it's time for you to go home. And he was upset. He was upset, got quiet. And it was like, he was starting to get his stuff together. And before he left, he said, do you have anything else? Do you have anything else to say before I go? And I say, no. And he says, I just want to let you know that's so wrong of you to stop in the middle of a sexual act. And you say, I didn't do anything wrong. And you just turn on me out of nowhere. That's not cool. And he got his stuff. We looking at each other, not saying nothing. He gets his stuff. He said, come lock your door, please. And he leaves. Shut the door behind him and locked the door. And it was a bittersweet moment. It was a bittersweet moment because I actually liked him. I actually liked him, and parts of me feel as though I can't say I wish I would have better communicated because I told him everything about, my whole situation. And I just feel like he didn't take heed to the stuff I was saying. He did not really care to hear what I was saying. He still had his ulterior motive. He still had his motives to get in my pants. To have sex, basically. And the part that day was not the same guy who left that night. Was not the same guy who I got to know over time. It almost seemed as though as soon as I became a transgender to him, it became strictly sexual. It became not strictly sexual, but sexually driven. As opposed to when he first was getting to know me, it seemed more relationship driven, more, I'm going to take you out on dates. I want to get to know you. There's a difference. And I think that when I had to face that, it did something to me to where I was so scrambled. I was doing stuff that didn't make sense. And even though I didn't provide him an explanation that night, I knew I had an explanation. I just didn't feel right. And I didn't want to go on. And so I had to tell that story, y'all, because this is a guy I finally met in real life. And I finally didn't just brush him off. I didn't just say, oh, no, I'm good. I'm not interested. I actually got to know him. I went against all odds, against all reservations I had, against, wondering if he knows or if he doesn't know. I just put that all aside and I just talked to him as a person. And ultimately, it still didn't get me far. Because ultimately, he still wasn't the right guy. Online or offline, this still was not the right guy for me. And so I had to tell y'all this story. It is what it is. I always rise. I'm going to be fine. It's another guy out there. It's other men out there. Nothing's going to stop for me. Things are only going to get better from here. Especially as I learn to navigate the world as a transgender woman. As I learn to navigate men even better and as I go through these experiences and learn from them. And so I just said I would share this story with you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the story. I hope you guys could take something away from it. And so, as I always say, guys, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. And as I always say, bye.